Hi everyone, Kristina here. Welcome to another live stream here at my YouTube channel. I'm so glad you're here tonight. Relaxing kind of goes into what my plan is for tonight because I'm going to do a little watercoloring. We haven't broken out the watercolors in a bit, so we're gonna break that out and do a really simple, just like stripes on a card. It's going to be really easy and simple tonight. Got two things that I want to share with you before we get into the actual card making. The first one is mail call for June. It is a new month, so that means we're going to have a live mail call very soon. I decided it's going to be a week from Wednesday on, I wrote it down. Where did I put it? Wednesday the 11th at 2 p.m. So I haven't scheduled it at YouTube yet, so you won't see it for a bit, but I'll get that scheduled in the next few days. But just mark it on your calendars. A week from this Wednesday at 2 p.m., we're going to be opening the mail and seeing what everyone made for the month of May. So, and I think it was congrats cards. I think that was the theme. So I hope you'll come back for that. The second thing I want to tell you guys about is, gosh, you guys might remember that I taught a class for Creative Scrapbooker magazine back right before Christmas. I think it was in October. Well, for the last couple of issues of a Creative Scrapbooker magazine, I've actually contributed a couple articles. So they're really kind of fun. I wanted to show you like I think the summer issue. If it's not out already, it's about to come out. So I only have the spring issue, but I'm going to show you the spring issue because I thought it was really, really good. There's also a promo that they're letting me share with all of you. It's down below in the video description if you want to check it out. But I wanted to show you this because it's really kind of fun. Well, for one thing, here's my article. Ta-da! There's my little face up there. So it's kind of fun. I'm basically doing like 3 cards with, some step out for a couple of them, for each issue. So it's been really fun. It's been different to work on something a little bit that's not the norm for me, like classes or YouTube or something like that. So that's been kind of fun. So I wanted to show you guys this, especially because I also noticed that they have a lot of step-by-step like ideas and tutorials included in their magazine. Even though the name of it is Creative Scrapbooker and there are a lot of scrapbook pages, they do have some card content as well. So, and I think it's actually kind of a fun resource, just to flip through. And I love the tactile of a real magazine, so it's kind of fun. So over at creativescrapbooker.ca, they're in Canada. We love our Canadians. If you go to subscribe for 2 years using my code, you will get 1 free issue and a bonus gift when you sign up. So I just wanted to let you guys know about that. They actually shared that promo with me a while ago, and I have been neglectful and haven't told you all about it. So I wanted to just tell you all that this is out there for you if you want to take advantage of it. And here we go. All right, so like I said, we're going to do some watercoloring today. And I thought about it and I was like, what watercolors do I want to use? You know what? We haven't broken out the Kuretake Zig Gansai. Oh, I can't even talk tonight. Kuretake Zig Gansai Tambi. There we go. This is a really fun watercolor palette because it's a little bit different. It's almost like the right in between watercolors and gouache. If you're not familiar with what gouache is a more opaque. I hate to use watercolors because it's another descriptor, but it's basically a water-based paint, but it is more opaque. So these are a little bit more on the opaque side, but you can also water them down and get more of that translucency that we love with watercolor. So let's get going here. I thought I would just do something really, really simple. Maybe I'll do a couple of cards because I wanted to use this stamp set from, gosh, I know what release this was, March, I think. But I thought these really big greetings, maybe in white on top of some colorful stripes, would be really pretty. So I thought maybe I would do, 3 cards or so. So I'm going to do the embossing after. Actually, maybe I should do it before. Let's do it before, because then as we paint, maybe it'll like gather around the embossing. and it might look really neat. Okay, let's switch to hot press watercolor paper. I think we're going to get a better result with hot press just because it's smoother. Oh, we might only do 2 cards because I only have 2 sheets left. Got only 2. All right, we're going to do 2 cards. Okay. I do not use the smoother side of watercolor paper when it's cold press because that is not the side of the paper that is meant to be painted on. And I don't like the texture on the other side. I mean, you can do it, but it's personal preference. All right, let's stamp this again. And I'm confident we'll get a better impression this time. All right, stamping twice just for some security, although it really didn't help the last time. Okay. Well, it's even picking up a little bit of I must have used black at some point because it's coming in right there. I'm going to just move this off to the side so I can do my embossing powder and not remove it from the door of my MISTI just in case I need to restamp. Oh, that's much better. I can already see it. Oh yeah, that's much better. Okay, that probably made it even harder for y'all to see it, but believe me, it's there. You can sort of see it when I tip it that way. All right, let's do the other sheet of hot press watercolor paper and we'll pick a different grading. I'm thinking the Hope Today is a good day. I think that'll be a good one. Oh, Pam, that's a really good point. Pam says these are great sentiments for people undergoing cancer treatment or have chronic health issues. It's hard to find those just right things to say on cards. Very true. Well, this is the encouraging word stamp set. I don't think I even mentioned that, but it is the encouraging word stamp set. So we'll just do these 2 right here. I was going to do a third, but I don't want to have to go dig out more watercolor paper. Okay. Hope that was okay. I want to say the D on good is kind of a little weird, but that's okay. The dies that go with this one have really good ones too, like Hang in There, Thinking of You, Sending Hugs, You Can Count on Me, You've Got This, Sending Hug. You know, there's lots of different stuff for this. I'll have to link to this when I'm done here. I'll put it in the video description. Okay, so like I said earlier, we are using the Gansai Tambi watercolors today. Let me get this arranged so I can move this up here. Okay. So these watercolors in particular do not have a palette included with them. So if you're going to be mixing your colors, you're going to want to do that like on a separate palette, like plastic palette, even like a plastic plate, something like that. I'm not going to worry about mixing colors today because I just want to do really colorful stripes. Like nothing too intense. I'm trying to grab I'm going to find, here we go. Here's one. I wanted like a square brush so that I could do stripes a little bit easier. Yeah, I think that could be really cute for this first one anyway. Just do like rainbow order. But I'm also thinking these are going to be A2 in size. So let me I'm just going to grab my essential dies just so I can get an idea of how much space I'm working with. Okay, so it's going to start right at the bottom. And I'm not going to be really precious about letting it dry in between the stripes because if it mixes a little bit, I'm totally okay with that. Oh wow, this is a very intense purple. see where we are with the dye. Is that going to be enough? Ooh, just barely. Okay, I love that. Okay, so on this one, we did the stripes and just, you know, if they combined, it was fine. If they didn't, it was fine. But we were also painting directly onto dry paper. So for the next one, let's try maybe wet paper first and see how they blend that way. I think we're gonna get even more of a blend. So maybe I'll just spray it. Or we could just pick, yeah, I kind of like keeping it rainbow. Okay. So it's going to be, it's going to very quickly start having colors wicking away. I don't want to mess with it too much, but there's still like a wet spot right there. Do you guys see that in the light? Yeah, there you go. I don't want to mess with that too much. This one over here is looking fairly dry. I think it might, if I just hit it, my heat tool a little bit, it'll finish it off. Isn't it funny how these are the same exact colors, but you have a little bit of a different look just by wetting the watercolor paper before? Is that funny? I'm going to use my A2 die to cut this out. Okay. We'll do that on top there. Okay. Do you have to leave the lid off of wet paints until they dry? Do they mold? I live in a really dry climate. It's like a desert. So I don't worry about that. I do with my other paints though. So I don't know. Looks like I was nervous for nothing. No color was transferred. Turned out so cute. It still got all of the colors. Really just lost a little bit of the red up there. It's not that much. I think the finishing touches stencils are back in stock. I could be wrong. But using this with like a paste or something. Oh yeah, that'd be fun. Okay, I'm going to use this ultra sticky 1-inch wide tape from Altenew to adhere these onto my card fronts. Yeah, you could put it on a larger card base if you wanted to. I think I want mine all the way edge to edge today, but you could definitely do that. This on here. You know what? It's kind of a tedious thing to do to add it, but I find that especially with watercolor paper and any paper that may have warped, going through the extra effort of putting this like super strong tape on all of the edges, I think you just get a better card in the end because it really does stick to the card base and it doesn't pull up. You guys really want a white border. I am resisting doing a white border. I do a white border a lot, and I'm trying to branch out, doing something different. I'm going to do an edge-to-edge card today. Looks like my card base is not perfect Got a little bit of white up at the top, not a huge deal. Okay, so I was thinking I could take this and put a little border on there. So on the stencil, so you guys see that there's a little etched border that marks the outside of an A2 card. And then you have the perfect dashed lines on the inside. This is my finishing touches stencils. So I just go like this, and then it's really not going to move over on this side. Okay. Texture, paste, opaque, matte. I just open it up just enough, and then I can get out my little, oh my word. See, it was like really stiff, but I kind of liked it because it dried fast and I had a lot of control. I don't like this palette knife though. I had another one over here. Where'd it go? Yeah, this one's a little stiffer. Okay. I don't know if my texture paste is dried up or what, but it's like super, it's as thick as can be. But it does look really cool once it's on your project when it's this thick. Hopefully it still sticks to the project when I peel up the stencil, because that would be the worst thing, is if it, like, you know, you pull up the stencil and it just pulls up all of the paste as well. That would be annoying. Which, if your paste is really, really thick, sometimes it will do that. All right, let's, cover this up while I peel up the side. Hopefully it'll not peel up all of the paste at the same time. Oh, dang it, it's peeling up the paste. Dang it. Well, it left some of it behind. You see, like, it peeled up quite a bit of the paste, though. That's annoying. I mean, I have lots of different pastes, but unfortunately, if they have been opened, most of them have dried out. That's what's sad. You really have to use your paste before it dries out on you. Oh, wait. White Pearl Hero paste. And it's unopened. So I think our standard hero paste with a white pearl sheen, I think that's going to be the winner. Hi, I'm up here again. Okay. Oh. Okay, I think I need to mix it because it's all pearly and stuff. Okay. Oh, that is the grossest sound. It's really pretty though, like the pearl. That's really pretty. But I do feel like I need to mix it because the top had some like little chunky bits. Okay. All right. Let's put this paste on here. I think this paste is going to go on much better. It's already going on much better. And I'm like trying to hold it down to the surface so that get a better result. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and lift this very carefully. In fact, I feel like I should lift it from this side. Oh, pretty. Okay, yeah, that went much better. See what happens when you use a paste that's not dried out? Lovely. So here are the two cards for tonight. Learned a little bit about painting onto wet watercolor paper versus dry. And also we experimented with pastes and we discovered how not to store them and how to store them possibly. So If you're watching the edited replay, you might want to go back and look at all of the comments that came through on the full length replay, because there were lots of people in the chat with great suggestions on how to store your paste and things like that. So anyway, thanks so much for joining me. Just a reminder that mail call will be a week from Wednesday at 2 p.m. Mountain Time in the afternoon, so come back for that. 2 days previous to that, I'll be back here live a week from today at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and that happens to be the 9th. And there, I do not have a new release with Concord and 9th in June. However, they have a big inventory blowout. A lot of my products that have been released, since September. September was my first release. A lot of my products, not a lot, I would say many of them are going to be on sale. Some as much as 40% off. So you can really get some deep discounts. So I hope you'll come back and see what that is. And so we're going to play with those on Monday. I'm going to show you, if you have questions about any products, I'm going to show them to you. And then my plan over the next, week or a couple weeks after that, while the sale's going, I'm going to be sharing some videos using those products. Just like, when I have to back up. When I'm creating my card samples for each release, I film every single moment. So I have video footage for every single card that was made. And a lot of times I don't have time to edit it down, or I haven't in the past. So I'm going to try to make some time, edit those down into some quick videos, and then you can see some of those products in use. So anyway, I'm excited for that. So come back next Monday live. We're going to play with all those products. Let's see what's on sale. And then we have mail call right after. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you all in another video very soon. Thanks for watching.